Next up is the Colonel John Ritchie Award, which honors men who have distinguished themselves through their service to Washburn, their communities, and their chosen professions. The award is named after Colonel John Ritchie, who donated the land on which Washburn is built. Tonight, this award goes to Rick Friedstrom. Rick earned a Bachelor of Arts in Political Science from Washburn in 1973. He began working as an agent for New York Life in 1973 and was a registered representative of New York Life Securities LLC before retiring in 2015. Rick's commitment to community involvement has been vast. His many leadership roles have included service as a board member and past president of the Topeka High School Historical Society, chair of the Library Foundation Board of Trustees, past president and longtime board member of the Heart of America Alzheimer's Association, past president of the Shawnee County Historical Society, and a member of the Ritchie House Project Steering Committee. He has also served as chair of the Law and Legislative Committee for the Kansas Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors, past president of the Topeka Association of Insurance and Financial Advisors, and treasurer and secretary of the McVicker Educational Foundation. Rick has been a proud member of the Presbytery of Northern Kansas for more than 30 years, serving 52 congregations and nearly 4,000 members across 29 counties in rural, urban, and suburban areas of northern Kansas. And he is a graduate of the Leadership Kansas class of 2000. Rick has remained deeply dedicated to serving his alma mater. He joined the Washburn University Foundation Board of Trustees in 1998 and has served on the Development Committee and as past president of the Board of Directors. He also served as a board member and past president of the Washburn Alumni Association. In 2008, Rick was recognized with the Ruth Garvey Fink Award, honoring individuals who have furthered the mission of the Bradbury Thompson Alumni Center in support of Washburn University. Rick, for your dedication to your profession, your community, and your alma mater, we are honored to present you with the Colonel John Ritchie Award. Rick?
When you called me a few months ago inviting me to accept this nomination, I challenged you to say why. I said, there are many people that are far more deserving than me. And that night, after I went to try to go to sleep, I didn't that night. And I probably had 100 people that I listened to that I thought were far more deserving than me for this recognition. And the more I talked with people like Ron Wirtz and others that I had a great deal of respect for, I realized that I'd been too close to the force. And that and probably there were times that I was doing things that probably I shouldn't do because I didn't have time to give the full deserving that my family deserved. But I do appreciate this opportunity to be recognized tonight, not only in Washburn, but in the community, but also in the state. And we've known each other for 30 years at least, and I don't remember some of the things you described. So the alumni office must be doing an awfully good job of tracking. First week, he probably knew a lot of that. But thank you so much for your kind words this evening. I look forward to continuing to be active at Washburn. I continue to be active in different organizations, and I'm probably being told to cut back a little bit because of some things that are going on right now. But you'll still see me around. You'll know that I'm here. But thank you so much for your kind words this evening. Is Pat here tonight? The one-night president, Pat? I don't see him. Is Jill here? Where's Jill? Jill, there you are. Thank you. Hey, next time you have your board meeting, probably was the second. But anyway, Jill, would you make sure that in the minutes that you have expressed, that I've expressed to you, my thanks for the board selecting me. I know you had a lot of good candidates, and elections for all of these different positions. But I know that the cupboard is still quite full, and you're not going to get anything to fill the role that you guys be filled for the next 12 months. But thank you for your help. And President Masachek, we've had a chance to work together quite a bit here lately, not probably as you would like me to, but I do commend you for all that you described in the last half hour, the activities happening in North Campus, the activities that happened, the announcement that was made on Tuesday. I look at the students, and I commend you for doing a good job, an excellent job, quite frankly, of attracting and retaining students that are first generation, and finding ways of, I see Kelly Irby shaking behind it. I think the importance of the student is really the key to the university. It really is the key, and it really is the key to not only Topeka, but Northeast Kansas, and is now that we're starting to recruit in the Kansas City area. I've probably seen some of our students eventually will be going back to Kansas City to find work and be well educated when they come back in. Congratulations to you and the Board of Regents and your staff that work with you constantly for a long period of time. And that includes Keith. In the 1960s, by the way, is Jen here in the room? Where's Jen? Jen Brown, she ran. She told me I had 6 minutes, and I told her that's barely enough time for me to warm up, so I might go any longer than 6. In the 1960s, both rockers, Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, came together. They were high school buddies, and they were neighbors of one another. And they formed a great band that still plays together called Simon and Garfunkel. And one of the great songs that they created back that period of time was a song called, what was it called? Old Friends. Old Friends. And I don't want to be humming it until I'm done. So, but that's a song that many of us know even today. But I've got a lot of people that are sitting over here in the corner that I need to recognize, because they're people that are old friends. People that I've gone to school with, in one case since grade school, and in many cases otherwise. But in every case, each one of these people that I've invited to be with me tonight are people that have helped me as I've helped them, I hope, work on values and be where they are today. But as I call your name, would you stand up? And I'm not going to brag about any of these guys, because if I did it, we'd be here till midnight. But using that ballot theme that I think is real important, it seems real important to invite those people to come to stand as I call their name. First off, I'd like to introduce Tom Martin. Tom and his friend, Becky Anderson. Tom has been a great friend of mine since grade school days. Next, I'd like to introduce Jim McIntyre and his wife, Joanne, who are right there also. He's another one of my buddies that I've gone to school with since grade school days. Then I'd like to introduce Jim Haney and his partner, Vicki Duran. They both are friends of mine from grade school, from junior high days. Chuck Engel and his wife, Janet. I'm sorry, you guys didn't come into the picture until Marshall days. But we've had a wonderful relationship over these past 40 years. We've had an opportunity to do things together, and we've had a chance to make a difference in a variety of different ways. I'd like to introduce to you Tom and Connie Paulson over here. They're junior high buddies of mine, and we keep in pretty close touch. And they drove all the way from Houston, Texas to be here. That's, by the way, Richard, where'd you come from? Where were you this morning? Breckenridge, Colorado. We keep pretty close touch. And then Greg Van Sickle has turned to be a very close friend of mine. He's the one that helped me a lot decide as I was retiring, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And he gave me a lot of, we spent a lot of time together in Andes, different places talking about options that were available. And doing some lake preaching throughout northeast Kansas was what I elected to do. And I've been working pretty hard with that. I've been out an awful lot over the past couple of years especially, and I'm really trying to cut that back a little bit and kind of having a difficult time making that happen. But let's not fail that I have some newer old friends that have been part of my life over the last 6, 7, 8 years. Would Bob King stand? Bob King, John and Lila Barber. I'd like all three of you guys to stand up. These are friends that I've developed and cultivated over these last 2 years through the over 60 age audit program that's offered by Washburn. And we really need to thank the board, to thank the Kansas legislature for making this program available. It gives us a chance to mingle and have classes with students in Washburn. Are there any primary auditors tonight? I think I've seen one. That there are many students like us are continuing to want to enhance our education. And we go back, and we go back, and we go back. And we have a great time talking to the students and learning from them as they learn from us. And having a great faculty. That Kelly Irving over here is an example of one of those people that has made us better people for the rest of our life. Thank you. And I'd like you to meet the youngest old friend that I have, that being Nathan Merriman. Nathan, would you stand, please? Nathan is a 2026 graduate of Washburn. He is a Siverson Award finalist in this past academic year. And he's headed to Washburn Law tomorrow morning, is that right? Today? Oh, we need to get you to bed early. He's going to be a good lawyer when he finishes in 3 years, probably less. Wouldn't be surprising he takes a little time off and eventually goes to seminary. Education is important to him. But he's a true student. He's a true leader. And he understands and is continually working to expand and understand the values that make him what he is today. And he wants to be able to pass that along, I'm sure. He, to me, represents the quality of the Washburn graduate that we have right now. So if anybody asks, why are we paying our taxes in Shawnee County? Well, we're paying for folks like like Nathan. And he's an exceptional student. Really represents a small portion of good people that we have coming out of our system right now. I'm really glad to call Nathan my friend. And I think Nathan would also say the same thing to me. But I don't want you to sit down as you've done already, because I want you to meet a friend of mine that I think would be somebody that you should visit with someday. And that'd be my friend Julie Reeves. Julie Reeves is a person that is very close to my parents, who are both deceased. And she's been an exceptional person at allowing my sister Joan and I to be able to talk when we need to talk. And she's good about listening when she needs to listen. And she's good at offering advice. But Julie has been a rock in this community for a long time. I won't say how many years. But the Topeka Symphony, the Washburn Public Library, all the different activities that Julie is involved with. We could go forever talking about that. But I'm so lucky, and Joan is so lucky, and everybody else is so lucky that we have had a chance to meet and work with Julie Reeves and making this community a better place for what it is. Thank you so much. I do have two important other families that I need to introduce. The first would be my daughter, Emily McGee, and her husband, Chris. They sit right over here, we need to stand up. They have brought their sons, Ethan and Owen, to be with us tonight. And you can see that my eldest has a big grin on his face, and I think he's really happy to be here. But I'm really happy to have them also with them be tonight, because I want him to see and hear what Washington is doing other than watching his brother play tennis. We're going to a basketball game or a football game. Would that be pretty correct, Ethan? Or is it
Yes.
usually? Okay. But they are both quality. They're not Ichabod's yet, but they're pretty close to being an Ichabod, even at 15 and 12. They are learning. They learn from their parents who are Washburn, and I think they've got my two grandsons. You got to be proud that these two guys are pretty sharp, and I'm really proud of both my grandsons, as I am my daughter and her husband. I also want you to meet Emily's mom, and that would be Julie. Julie, is she here? Julie's right here. I have two other people that I really want to introduce, and that would be my Parker family, and they're sitting over here also. Parker's, my sister Joan is my sister, of course, and she's married to Bill Walker. Joan, you probably remember, because several years ago she received a lot of it in the road. She received it, I think, 3 years ago, Julie. You remember right off the inside. But I was really proud of her for that, and I'm glad that I can join her tonight. I'm not sure there are many brother and sister combinations like we are, but I find us to be a pretty special group, and we can talk with each other, and I can find out what I'm doing wrong and I'm doing right pretty easily for me. They have two sons. How about a daughter and a son? Amanda and Kai. Now, we talk about people coming a long way. Kai Barker is on the faculty at Smith College, and he had a break in the action, and he came back to Topeka to spend time with his family. But it just had to be that it happened in the time of this evening. So I'm glad that Kai was able to be with us here and spend time with us also. And also, let's not forget the friend that I've been spending time with over the last 8-9 years. That'd be Karen and Art. Karen has been so helpful to me. She reads what I write, whether it be preacher or whether it be this evening. She knows what I need to say, even though I go to space pretty regularly. And she helps me immensely, probably more than any person around, and I cannot be appreciative enough of all that you do for me. Thank you, Karen. But let me tell you just a little bit about why Washburn is so important to me. I'm not going to take long. I don't want to be a burden. But it really comes down to values. This university, this representative is represented by values that have been started many years ago by the vision and contributions provided by John Ritchie, Colonel Ron Ritchie, who was a founder of Topeka many years ago, before 1850, let's put it that way. And also his fellow alumni, financial donor, Ichabod Washburn, who, one of our presidents, Peter McVicker, went back east and was able to generate a very nice pledge from him to help this university make a good start off the ground. And this was at a time when the United States was suffering some real challenges. And because of not only their financial, but their moral support, they were able to help out quite a bit. We grew up 6 blocks from the Washburn campus, just north here. And I spent a lot of time learning about this campus as I was growing up. We as a family spent time on Sunday afternoons attending numerous musical and cultural events held in the McVicker Chapel. And during the week, we played a lot of tennis on the courts just west of the Whiting Fieldhouse. Or better yet, hitting golf balls in and around the infamous sand greens, which occupy the campus north of what is now Grove Drive. We didn't play very well. Those sand greens really screwed up our putting game. Yet for these reasons, and many other, we don't have time to explain. I made my decision a long time ago to go to Washburn. And it was because of the values that had been instilled from generation to generation that allowed me to know what I was getting into if I enrolled at Washburn, which I did. And I had to do it quickly because I graduated from Topeka High in '69, in the fall and spring of '69. And I had to get enrolled to be in school in the fall of 1969 here at Washburn. I knew all along that Washburn was my choice. There was no doubt about it, even though it existed a lot of other campuses. Washburn students, alumni, and friends have been seeking for some time the importance of a Washburn mascot. They knew that K-State had a Wildcat. They knew that KU had a Jayhawk. They knew that the University of Missouri had a Tiger. And they knew that the University of Nebraska had a Cornhusker. And we didn't have a thing. We didn't have anything that we could brag ourselves about. And in the editor's page of the 1938 Washburn Yearbook, and Zach, I'm taking a quote from you on this. Editor Bradbury Thompson, for whom this building is named, addressed this long simmering issue. In his letter announcing that Washburn mascot would be replaced, and it would have values and not just a body. In his letter announcing this Washburn mascot, these values would be courageous spirit, democratic courtesy, a sense of kindness, and a studious love of truth and scholarship. His letter closed with a look to what the future probably would hold. And he probably was taking this from his Presbyterian ministerial background. The looks of our mascot will probably change to reflect the inevitable change in the Washburn student body and changes in which the curriculum to address the changes required of both the student and the university. But we've seen it since 1938. Our student body has changed, and so has our curriculum, even today, even this week. The announced name of our mascot, Ichabod Washburn. And that's the name that we've had all of these years. Even our mascot tells we Ichabods who we are and why we are special and why we are unique. I find that the construction of this building in 1996 provided that opportunity. Brad died before this building was completed, but he made it very clear on numerous occasions visiting in Topeka that this room, this big hall, would provide an opportunity for life's special events to take place in one place. I'm honored to receive and accept the 2026 John Ritchie Award and encourage the Ichabod community to continue to remember John Ritchie's confidence by his contribution to a successful Washburn in 1865, and the values that are represented by our mascot, which was created in 1938. again, my thanks to all of you tonight and putting up with me for these few minutes. Thank you so much.